Olympians are strong, powerlifters are powerful, MMA fighters are brutal, but compared to a Neanderthal, they're delicate. Because if you took the strongest modern athletes, men and women who train their entire lives, and put them up against a Neanderthal in raw strength, the Neanderthal would win every single time. This isn't a legend. It's science. Chapter 1. Meet the Neanderthals. Homo neanderthalensis lived in Europe and parts of Asia from around 400,000 to 40,000 years ago. They weren't our ancestors, but our evolutionary cousins. And physically, they were unlike anything alive today. Thick bones, massive chests, dense muscles, powerful limbs. Everything about them was built for survival in an Ice Age world where brute strength meant the difference between life and death. They weren't just stocky humans. They were built with a fundamentally different skeletal architecture, broader rib cages, more robust pelvises, and skulls with features suited for heavy chewing and powerful neck muscles. Chapter 2. Bones of stone. Bodies of power. Neanderthal skeletons don't just show strength, they scream it. Skulls with thick brow ridges and reinforced jaws. Shoulders and arms with huge muscle attachment sites. Fingers short, thick, and powerful enough to grip stone tools for hours. Legs shorter than ours, but incredibly dense and muscular. Their overall frame was compact and optimized for generating massive amounts of force. According to biomechanical models, the average Neanderthal male had upper body strength equal to or greater than elite modern athletes. Some estimates suggest their grip strength could rival that of a chimpanzee. And chimps can literally rip your arms off. Chapter 3. The world that built them. Why were Neanderthals so strong? Simple. They had to be. They lived during glacial periods in Europe and Central Asia, where temperatures routinely dropped below freezing. Shelter was scarce. Predators were everywhere, and food didn't come easily. Hunting a mammoth, auroch, or giant deer meant getting up close and personal. No bows, no traps, just thrusting spears, and a whole lot of courage. Neanderthals likely practiced persistence hunting, chasing prey across long distances, tackling it at close range, and delivering the fatal blow themselves. They had to drag carcasses, smash bones for marrow, climb icy cliffs, fight off wolves. All of it demanded strength we can barely comprehend. And if they got hurt, they didn't have hospitals. They just had to survive. Evidence from healed fractures shows they often did, thanks to their sheer toughness and social care. Chapter 4. Stronger than you think. Modern studies have compared Neanderthal muscle and bone stress loads with those of modern humans. The results are mind-blowing. Their humerus, upper arm bone, shows stress levels indicating daily use, equivalent to heavy lifting. Their thorax and spine suggest lung capacity far beyond ours, possibly 20 to 30% higher, allowing them to oxygenate massive muscles efficiently. Their femurs and tibias show the kind of compression you'd expect in a modern Olympic sprinter or football player. And this wasn't special. This was average. Every Neanderthal was built like this. Chapter 5. The Athlete Showdown. So let's do the unthinkable. Take an NFL linebacker. Take a UFC champion. Take an Olympic deadlift record holder. Put them in a cage match against a 5' 5" Neanderthal. Who wins? The Neanderthal, every time. Because while modern athletes train for performance, Neanderthals were forged by survival. No warm-ups, no recovery days, just pure instinctive brutality, backed by genetic muscle density and skeletal reinforcement we can't artificially replicate. Want specifics? Olympic deadlift record, approximately 1,100 pounds. A Neanderthal likely wouldn't match that exactly, but pound for pound, their strength-to-mass ratio could exceed ours by 30 to 50%. Sprinting, despite short legs, their fast-twitch muscle fiber concentration suggests they could explode with short bursts of speed, like an MMA fighter lunging for a takedown. Wrestling, their shoulder and arm construction alone means modern fighters would have an extremely tough time getting leverage or controlling grapples. Chapter 6. Built from birth. Neanderthal strength wasn't just from lifestyle. It was in their bones from birth. Even Neanderthal children had bones that were denser than modern adults. Growth patterns show they developed slower but more robustly, investing early energy in durability and muscle development. They didn't lift weights. They were weights. From climbing, dragging, hammering, skinning, and hunting, every action trained their bodies naturally. In modern terms, they were performing functional strength workouts every day just to survive, with none of the recovery tools we have now. Chapter 7. Endurance versus explosion. Here's the one edge we might have. Homo sapiens are built for endurance, longer limbs, leaner builds, and more efficient cooling systems. In a marathon or multi-day hunt, we could likely outlast Neanderthals. But in a fight, a lift, a grapple, they'd outclass us instantly. This speaks to a deep evolutionary divergence. We became runners. They became lifters. Chapter 8. Not just brute force. And here's the twist. Neanderthals weren't just muscle-bound brutes. They had culture, article burial rituals, fire, clothing, toolkits that rival modern primitive technology. They shaped stones with precision, crafted hunting weapons, possibly even had rudimentary language. So imagine all that strength, controlled by intelligence. That's not a wild animal, that's a superhuman. Chapter 9. When humans met Neanderthals. When Homo sapiens entered Europe around 45,000 years ago, they encountered Neanderthals face to face. We don't know exactly how it went down, but we know this: they interbred. Most non-African humans today carry 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. They coexisted briefly, and then Neanderthals disappeared. Was it conflict, competition, climate, or did they simply get absorbed? What's clear is that we survived, but not because we were stronger. If anything, Neanderthals outmatched us physically at every level. We won through strategy, endurance, and numbers. Chapter 10. Could a Neanderthal compete today? Could a Neanderthal be trained for the modern Olympics? They wouldn't just compete, they'd dominate in anything requiring raw power, grip, and brute force. Deadlifts, wrestling, shot put, strongman events, done. Combat sports, terrifying, even untrained. A Neanderthal could outperform many professional athletes in key strength metrics. And with coaching, they might set records we couldn't touch. But it's not just about muscle. Their durability, ability to withstand trauma, tolerate pain, and recover would also give them an edge. Chapter 11. The strength that sleeps in us. Some of their genes live on in us. Studies show that some muscle-related genes from Neanderthals were passed on to modern humans. They influence metabolism, fast-twitch muscle development, and even pain tolerance. Other genetic traces influence immune response, skin tone, and even sleep patterns. So, if you're an outlier, a freak of nature, a naturally powerful human, you might just have your Neanderthal ancestry to thank. Chapter 12. Stronger, tougher, gone. And yet, with all this strength, they disappeared. Why? Maybe climate shifts fractured their populations. Maybe our ancestors outcompeted them for resources. Maybe their low population density made them vulnerable to extinction through sheer bad luck. But their story didn't end in total loss. They left their mark in our genomes, our bones, and in the record of a species that once ruled Europe with nothing but muscle, mind, and stone. Conclusion: the real superhumans. Neanderthals didn't run marathons. They didn't lift for PRS. They lived brutal, short, powerful lives in a world that demanded everything from their bodies. And they delivered. So next time you see a gold medalist or an MMA champion, remember, 40,000 years ago, there were people walking the earth who were stronger, tougher, meaner, and if they were here today, they'd leave us all in the dust. Don't forget to subscribe for more prehistoric power and scientifically accurate nightmare fuel. To see what humanity faced before it ruled the world, click here.